Let's take up some examples to find inverse of a function. As you know, we can find inverse of a function by reversing a rule. We can find it by interchanging coordinates in a coordinate set or table of values. By reversing the direction of arrows in mapping diagram also we can find inverse of a function. For a graph, we can reflect the graph on the line y equals to x and then find the inverse. Algebraically, to find the inverse, we swap x and y and then find the value of y. Today in this video, we will see how to use reversing of rule as a motive, as a way of finding inverse of a function. So the technique used, which we'll discuss today, is reversing a rule. As you know, function is a rule, and therefore we can find inverse of a function by performing the rule in the reverse order with opposite signs. Let's take some simple examples. Okay, let's say that a student wants to go from home to school, and here is the home. So from home he walks 100 meters east. And then takes 200 meters north. And then goes 50 meters east and reaches the school. Now, this could be a function where the domain is home and the range is school. The path, or in this case we can also say rule followed, is 100 meters east, 200 meters north, 50 meters east. Now, inverse of a function will do the reverse of the thing and will undo what has been done. So, inverse of a function should bring us back from school to home. Let's see how it can be done. So from here, if you reverse the rule, then let's read it in reverse order. So we are starting from school, going back to home. So we'll go in this direction. In this case, 50 meters west. Do you see that? 50 meters not east, but west. And then south. 200 meters south, and then 100 meters west. So we did just the reverse operation. The reverse operation was from the school move 50 meters west, 200 meters south, and 100 meters west to reach home. So the function here gets you from home to school, and the inverse of a function gets you back from school to home, which we'll write in function notation as inverse of a function. You see, so we actually reverse the operations and the directions to get back to school. Now let me take some algebraic example. Let's take a function which does the operation, let's say function which is doing 5 times input plus 2. So this function can be shown in a box like this. So the operation being performed is times 5 and then plus 2. Let's say this is our function block. Now, this is the input x. It goes into the function, gets multiplied by 5, then added by 2, and there goes the output, which is fx 5x plus 2. So this is our function f, which performs this operation. Now, how can we find the inverse of this function? The inverse of the function should bring us back to x, doing just the reverse operation. So from here, when we start, what happens? We should do minus 2. And then, instead of multiplying, we'll do divide by 2. So that's our inverse function, which we have got by reversing the operation. So we'll say f inverse of x is equal to minus 2. That means x minus 2, then divided by 2. Now let's check, does it really work? Okay, let me take some value. Let's say x is equal to 4. Now when 4 gets multiplied by 5, we get 20. When you add 2, we get 22. Therefore, f of 4, let me write, f of 4 equals to 22. Now if we feed in this 22 here, then 22 minus 2 is 20, and 20 divided by 2 is 4. So we get output 4. You see, we started with input of 4 and got output 22. And when we fed 22 into our inverse function, we did get 4. So f inverse of 22 is 4. So this is the correct example, right? And you get just the right inputs. Do you see how effective this is? Let's try some more problems and think how to get quickly the answer. Let's say the rule is add 5 to your number, add 5 to your number and times it by 3. Now the function will be, what will be function? You have to add 5 to the number, so x plus 5 to the number, and then times it by 3, so times 3. So let me just not use, let me use 3. Okay. Now for this, what should be the inverse? What should be f inverse of x? So you did added 5 times this to the number. What should we do now? We should do the reverse operation. First divide by 3 and then take away 5. That means x divided by 3 minus 5. This is how we can find inverse of a function. Okay, this is a very simple technique and can be used very effectively for solving our problems. I hope you understand the system. We'll take up more examples to find inverse of a function using equations. Okay, thank you.